Welcome back, happiest league on earth participants, to this year's first installment of Bets and Bullshit. I am kind of a host, but my name is definitely Matthew Carver. With me, as always, Jeff Chewy Hastings, Matthew Harris, and we have a special guest, kind of, or just like a studio audience member.
Audience. Let's go with audience.
Let's get a little facial recognition in there just for the fans at home. Oh, how are you so pretty and so ugly?
I was told to be quiet.
Is that possible? You're doing really good.
No,
I'm very proud of you so far. Yeah, for the two new guys, if you decide to watch this, we've done this for the last couple of years. We just do a weekly video recapping the games of the week, but more the bets of the week, and we just gotta just talk shit. So
and we ruin your ability to do a easy press conference.
Yeah. But
so, for the new guys, did anybody actually tell them about the press conference?
I did let Eddie know that I told him after he already accepted the league and after he did his Angry Orchard chug and Jaeger shot. And then I was like, oh, by the way, this happens as well if you're the second highest score that week.
Well, so I have no doubt that Brashawn is going to give them an amazing first impression of what a quality press conference should look like. And so they will get an amazing example of what, setting the bar real high. So, Brashawn, we're all counting on you, buddy.
Does anybody actually remember Brashawn's last press conference?
It's been so long.
I honestly thought about going through the history to see if it's happened at all last year. Because the first 6 weeks last year, he actually won games and was doing well. I just don't remember if he actually had to do a press conference.
You know what, Chewy? Maybe we should just add one more thing to your table there in the happiest league bets. We just keep track of who's done press conferences.
Yeah, because I want more work to do.
Yeah, I mean, you got this, right? What's another tab?
Yeah, it's not hard. I mean, the thing I should add is how often Carver loses by a fraction of a point.
It is my forte.
I saw that. I didn't pay attention to your video, then I was looking at scores and I was like, how did he start week one exactly like all of last season? All of last season.
Yeah, this is how you go from having Justin Jefferson and Christian McCaffrey for 2 years in a row and not making the playoffs. This is how you accomplish that, by losing these kind of games.
Yeah, it's great stuff.
Well, it's not like I lost 79 to 80. I actually put up a really good score too.
Yes.
So, well, it is what it is. Hey, I always want to do a quick, just in case people haven't actually looked. In week one, I lost to our new member, White Tyrell. Gary beat down older brother Richie. Touch the butt. Matt, are you going to explain that name, or are you just going to leave it out there for everybody to?
Have you not watched Finding Nemo? Gosh, you uncultured swine!
I have not.
We are
watched.
a Disney league.
Oh.
That's on you.
Well,
If you don't get it, that's on you.
Butt touching in Disney makes a lot of sense, so I get it there. But yeah, you killed Mosters Inc. I like that. That was good because you drafted the new Mostert. I like that.
Yeah, it's okay.
Wookie beat Andy, and Brian thankfully lost to Brashawn, and Corey beat Chris. So not only do we have a recap of that, I remembered everybody's names.
And Corey, but that game was really close, right? The Corey Chris game.
Well, it would have been if Aaron Rodgers didn't put a 0 up.
Oh, where's the audience going? What happened?
I don't know. Apparently, we mentioned something that's super frustrating.
Congratulations to Corey for winning with the lowest score, win of 82. Did Corey even start all his players? I know Chris decided to sit Aaron Rodgers. That's why he got him 0 points, right?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Oh. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of where we stand. We might jump in with some other little tidbits of why the fuck did you do that or something like that. But other than that, Chewy, go for it.
All right, let me hit these bets. It's the core of our league for the new guys. If you haven't paid attention, we both took part in bets, so good on you. I'm going to start with probably the bet tally. So this year I am tracking, as always, accepted bets because you must have 20 bets for the year. Not very hard to do, but surprisingly, like if I pulled up last year, some people barely got above that. I gave Harris and Richie credit for some their Brashawn will draft Brock Purdy by like round. I think Harris had him at 6.
I had him at 6. Yeah, I had him at 6.
What did Richie say? 8,
7?
7? Yeah.
It was literally the next round. Yeah.
Yep. And somehow he waited till near the end of the draft to take him, then dropped him, then picked him back up. Don't know why, but I gave you two a credit for that. And then Chris has a preseason. Actually, I don't remember. Oh, yeah. He's got one with Eddie, which means I have to give Eddie credit for their grades. If either one of them ever run the grades, because I don't see any grades in Sleeper. So I have no way to actually figure out who won that bet.
Well, Chewy, is this something that we might be able to decide right now on the channel? Could that be something?
We could.
Like,
totally
that's what I'm saying.
decide.
I mean, this
We
is
have an
your
odd
job.
number of voters, so we'll just vote.
Screw those crappy websites. Let us decide.
Yeah,
as of the draft result. So while you guys pull that up, I will get into the rest of the results.
So I wasn't paying attention. What are we voting on?
We are going to figure out who had the better draft, Chris or Eddie. While you guys are pulling that up, I'll pull it up in a minute. I'm going to get through, knock out some of the other bets. This gives you guys time to actually analyze it, and then I can just shit talk my way through it like I actually care. This year, I'm also added in issued bets because I know last year we talked about it, just in case it matters. So this week we had 20 issued bets, 2 by Gary, 7 by Chris. Carver, you had 1. I had 1, which was a league-wide bet. And then Harris had 3. Corey had 3. Rashawn had 1. Andy had 2. Anybody else not mentioned? You had 0. You suck. I don't like you anymore. Bet Overlord says you should issue some bets. And that may be an interesting rule for the future that you have to issue a minimum number of bets. Just to spice up this league, since 20 accepted bets is rather easy. In the first week combined, we have 48 accepted, or at least 48 participants in bets, with Chris leading at 10, of course, and the next highest being 5 at Gary, Harris, Brashawn, all tie at 5, and then it just kind of trickles down from there. So that's the week 1 tallies.
I'm glad Rogers retired.
Yep, you're good at that. Total point starters was the league-wide bet. It was an ounce differential bet. I issued it. Harris, Brashawn, Eddie, Carver, Spear, Gary, Richie, and Chris accepted it. Harris had the highest total at 119.62. Chris had the lowest. This results in Brashawn owing 7.4, Eddie owing we'll call it 4, Carver owing 8.6, almost 8.7, already paid. Spear owes 13, we'll just round to 0.4. I owe 14 point something, I already paid it. Gary owes 32. There's a big jump from like me to the next guy. There's just like a 14 to Gary at 32.3, Richie at 42, and Chris at 45.22. Chris has another ounce bet later that results in another 31.8 ounces against Spear. So
Chris, you should really start a quarterback.
Yeah, starting a quarterback really helps score points.
Matt, have you looked at these drafts?
I have them up right now as Chewy was talking.
They're both super disgusting.
Yeah, they're garbage.
Spoilers.
Well,
Carver issued a bet to Tyrell. Carver barely lost that, but Tyrell interestingly paid it before the Dallas defense just destroyed, just super destroyed that team. Andy issued a kicker bet with, and that so the Carver bet was it. Carver Tyrell was a shot or chug. Kicker bet from Andy and myself. Shot and chug. I already paid that. I lost that by 4 points. Gary and Corey took place in a strikeout bet. Gary had added a stipulation, but he won it, so I doubt it matters. So Corey owes a strikeout. We had another basically total point starter for a shot or chug between Rashawn and Corey. Corey owes on that one because Corey scored in the 80s and Rashawn is in like 112. Total point starters, card bet, double the mini game pot. So we have our weeklies, and Gary lost that, claims he already did it. I'm going to have to ask for some sort of proof because saying you did it doesn't actually provide me any evidence that you did it.
Wait, what? We can't just tell you we did it?
doesn't he
Yeah,
have to show video evidence of him paying Brashawn?
I would at least need like a Venmo screenshot. Actually, I guess if I pull up Venmo, I might be able to see it myself because Venmo shows everything, but I'll take a look. Who knows? That was that one. QB bet between Gary and Carver. Carver easily won that 20-7. That was a shot and chug. So Gary, have fun. Total point starters, Bud Light, chug, Gary and Brashawn. Gary owes on that one. Harris issued a lot of just bad bets. Just
Bad bets.
just obviously terrible choice bets. The first one was Mahomes versus Goff.
Hey,
Harris lost that one.
Let me just say though, I felt Detroit was going to win that game, and I just thought that Goff would have a better game.
Hey, Matt, facts don't care about your feelings.
That's right.
Yep. So
Don't care what you felt.
then to really keep going with his great bet choices, he then issued a bet that the Steelers would beat the 49ers to both Brashawn and Carver. And as we saw, that game did not go well.
Hey, they're idiots.
Yeah. So, and Harris has paid all these. And then my favorite is the next one where Harris chose the Giants to beat the Cowboys.
It was raining.
Yep. That's what caused the problem.
Is it only raining on the Giants? That's all. It was just raining on the Giants the whole
Yeah,
time.
it was like one of those cartoon storm clouds that just sits above one person. Like it was just over one team. So Harris lost all of those. The first two were shot or chugs, and the last one was a shot and chug. Harris has paid all of them. We had a matchup winner between Corey and Chris. Chris owes on that one. It is the card, the breakfast slam. If I had apparently a pancake, Chris would pay it here. I don't have pancakes. Don't think I even have a batter. Like somebody would have to just find a recipe on how to turn flour into pancakes. It'd be bad.
Not hard.
It's not hard. It's not hard at all. I think it's like eggs and flour. Then Chris issued most of his bets because Chris is good at issuing bets. We all know this. Definitely the league leader in issuing bets usually. He had a QB bet with Eddie. He lost that. He had an RB 1 and 2 bet with Harris. He lost that. He had a tight end bet with Richie. He lost that. I think his tight end got him 0. Did you have one of the 0 tight ends? Yeah.
No, I got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I got 5.
You got 5?
That's
Yeah.
fine.
I should. Oddly enough, I haven't written in your scores, but I know you owe on these. I just gave up putting down Chris's points on some of these. Chris had actually issued Brashawn a wide receiver 1 bet. It would have been Diggs versus Jefferson. He would have lost that anyway by like 2 points. Brashawn countered with, "Hey, let's add a quarterback to that." Chris proceeded not to start a quarterback.
Bold
So
strategy.
he lost that one too. All of those bets were shot or chugs. We then moved into Chris's total. I just label it as total point starters. But this was between Andy and him. It's their non-light beer chug, which really should be rephrased as craft beer chug.
No,
You're just
not
gonna,
like beer chug.
non-light beer chug. Okay. Just in case you ever want to get lazy and just chug a normal Budweiser, not a Bud Light.
Exactly.
Then there was another total point starters. This one was the traditional ounce differential between Chris and Spear. Because of that lack of a quarterback, Chris owes 31.8 just on that one bet. His total for the week, I believe in the chat I put was 77. Chris has already paid 39 of those. So he's doing great there. Then Chris had a bet with Tyrell. And for once, Chris won this bet. It was kicker. Tyrell's kicker only scored 3 points. Chris scored 13. So Tyrell, you owe a shot or chug. And then lastly, there is a Corey and Richie bet for QB for the card Prairie Fire. And Richie owes on that. For the fun of what a Prairie Fire is, it is a shot and chug, but the shot is 2 ounces of Tabasco sauce.
That's
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. So
Well,
just
is
there were
that like Corey's version of a thing, or whoever's version of it? So Prairie Fire shot is a shot of tequila with Tabasco in it.
So this is how he wrote the card. I
Okay.
don't know if he forgot the booze part of the shot, but as written, wherever it just went, it says
Hard
shot.
it is to get 2 ounces of Tabasco out of that little fucking Tabasco.
Yeah, that I think that's the real punishment. Yeah, but it just reads as shot and chug, but the shot is 2 ounces of Tabasco sauce. So,
Alright.
so no tequila. It's basically 2 ounces of Tabasco and a chug. There were technically 3 card bets: the double the mini game pot between Andy and Gary, and then the breakfast slam between Corey and Chris. Just to read off what a breakfast slam is, as soon as I find it, is super not great, but I'm sure Harris will have flashbacks of his maple syrup challenge, but way less. One shot of 1 ounce maple syrup
Sure.
mixed with 1 ounce 80 proof booze, chased with 12 ounces of beer with a raw egg in it, chased with a small pancake.
I'm fucking down.
You accepted it. You get to pay it.
Sounds like a good
Delicious.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it sounds rather healthy. Like it's a good way to start the day, obviously.
Well, now you let me talk. I have one question. Okay.
Oh, we have a question
Yeah.
from an audience
I
member.
have a
Oh,
question.
audience member. Yes,
Why
yes.
Isn't
Wait.
make a sandwich with every condiment in your fridge not in our cards?
I don't know. Like I copied all of last year's.
Yeah.
Was
Did
that
he-
not a,
Carver hacked your.
Did he pay for a super chat? Is that how that worked?
yeah, I mean, I like if you're not watching the feed, we're getting little coins and stuff all the time. So
Super chat. Super chat.
but that's the bets. So everybody pay up. I posted the link in the chat. If you have questions, read that. If you can't figure out what you owe, too bad on you. I've already done
Be an
my-
adult.
if you can't read a spreadsheet, read.
well.
You know, that's on you. Boom.
Chewy's,
Okay.
Chewy's glitching tonight.
Yeah.
Aren't I? Yeah. So to settle up one more bet, you guys have pulled up Eddie
Yeah.
and Chris's draft, or the draft really.
Oh, let's fucking go.
Yep. Well, we're gonna judge it for you because
Let's
we
fucking
know
go.
if we wait for either of you to put it in an
I
algorithm.
fucking
So-
busy with his baby.
Yeah,
Harris,
nobody
Harris,
likes people
go-
with- nobody
go
likes
first.
people with
I'm
babies.
interested to hear your analysis.
Yes.
Well,
Who?
my analysis.
Don't be biased.
So, starting off the bat, we're in a half PPR league. We're never going to go to the full PPR. We've had this discussion with the other foreskins, and that alone, I'm leaning towards Special K's draft board because of the running back situation that he has compared to Eddie's situation over here. One of the big selling points though for me for Chris would have to be the pickup of Aaron Rodgers in the 9th round. I think Rodgers is going to do great for him this year. So that's going well. Just looking at it though, Carver, I would have to say that running back wise, I love compared to Eddie's. I'm more on board with running backs for Chris's. So I lean towards running backs in our league.
Yeah, I mean, so Chris's running back room is obviously far superior. But Tyler Lockett, Zay Flowers, Michael Thomas is taking
My
the
counter. Okay, let me counter that real quick. James Conner, Gibson.
Absolutely, that's what they're both disgusting drafts. Like they're both like really. Chris had already had a running back, then took 2 more, then took a tight end. Eddie already had a wide receiver, then took 2 more, then took a tight end. Like,
and remember,
they're mirroring each other's bad decisions for some reason.
And honestly, this is hard to do for Eddie because Eddie wasn't drafting. Remember, he was at the Metallica concert giving the lead singer COVID.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, that was nice.
So there was a couple picks that Eddie did not make. Also makes me lean towards Chris because I fucking hate it when the computer drafts for you.
So my vote for better draft is going to be for Chris for this reason. And this is not, I listen to a shit ton of, quote unquote fantasy experts and all of them, if you listen to them, will say in a single quarterback kind of league, you're taking quarterbacks late, right? And if there are kickers and defenses in the league that you're drafting, you want to draft those late as well, right? So Chris took his first quarterback after Eddie took his first quarterback. Chris took a defense and a kicker after
same round.
Yes, still after.
Yes, the whole 6 picks different.
He's right.
And Chris took his kicker and his defense after Eddie took a kicker and a defense.
Yes,
so
that one is clearly by far different.
So just by that on like how the quote unquote experts would tell you to like draft strategy and where you should be taking your quarterbacks and your kickers and your defense, Chris followed that kind of mindset more than Eddie did. So for that reason, I would give the draft to Chris. But yeah, they're both ugly drafts. I don't predict either of them making the playoffs.
Ooh.
Chris has the advantage of he also had, due to somebody's error, I forget whose, Justin Jefferson as a keeper in like the 10th round. So like he didn't have to draft a receiver early. He already had the number 1 and then was able to pick up good running backs. So
I mean, yeah, compared to Eddie's just running back room is garbage. I'm also going towards Chris here. Also, just the upside of Zay Flowers alone. I fucking love Zay.
Did anybody tell Chris that he has like 35 points on the bench, which would have given him the win this week? Does he know that? I don't know if he knows that he easily could have won.
Sleeper told him that.
Was it the better manager?
Efficiency rating.
Great draft, Chris. Bad managing. You're just terrible at managing your start sits, apparently.
Hey, change that quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you started Rodgers over Derek Carr.
No,
at least looking at your draft.
He didn't need to start a quarterback. He just needed to start the right receivers and running backs.
I mean, yeah.
I'm curious now. I haven't looked at Sleeper as much as you guys have. I guess I like. And Chris, you're there. Audience participation is welcome.
Well,
Who
fuck,
did you
who
say-
knew we were gonna start fucking Roger Carl?
Well, no. I'm not talking about quarterback. Who are the other players in your team that you should have played?
I know Zay Flowers got me 16.
13.2 for Zay Flowers and
Oh, there you go.
22.9 for Tyler Algier.
Yeah, but that was.
That's come on,
You
no, come
wouldn't
on.
even start him over Bijan.
Hey, this is the talking shit portion of bets and bullshit. I don't care if it makes sense or if it was smart to sit
But for
Algier.
real, I gave it 1 week.
He scored
Algier will be
22
in my
points.
flex next
It's
week.
your fault for not starting him.
Yeah. What's your bench look like, Carver?
You have a flex. Also,
Chewy,
the other easy win could have came from Richie, who also had 30 plus points on his bench from 2 different players. Yeah, 31 points from Romeo Dobbs and Roshan Johnson, which he lost by 10. So Richie could have won. Yeah, I mean, I could have won if I had not played the Dallas
All right.
defense as
for the point of the bet, Eddie, you owe.
Yep.
So
There you go. Chris won the
Um,
draft
It's not
between
biased.
Eddie.
They all hate.
What? You're like my best friend.
not your best
All right.
friend, just like your best friend. So yeah, we got Matt Harris, Brashawn Bryant, and White Tyrell as our top 3 scorers. Actually, tied, right?
Wait, what?
What?
White Ty. What the fuck?
There's a point difference, but
I thought White Tyrell and
Not all Tyrells and Brashans look the same, Carver.
no, White Tyrell and no, the 2 new guys scored the exact same amount of points.
Shut your beautiful mouth.
They did.
I'm
they did.
looking at
He
this.
is not wrong.
That's interesting.
The fun thing is 1-1 and 1 loss.
Yeah, Eddie, you should have played me with that. You would have.
Yeah.
It's your fault for not playing me in week 1. I know
Yeah, you
could've-
suck, Eddie. You're the worst.
What do we
So
got
that's all
going?
the bets,
Week 2. Yeah, we got
That's all
Matt,
the bets.
Matt, why don't you take care of explaining rivalry week?
Yeah, so this is my favorite week of our happiest league on earth. It is rivalry week. This year we set it up at the draft, which was really fun. Obviously, we thought that the new guys should get ushered in with taking on some experienced vets here. And by that, I mean just the shit talking that comes from Chris. We really wanted Eddie to experience that in full force. So that was our first matchup that I believe we set. And then second matchup was obviously, and Carver alluded to it just seconds ago, White Tyrell versus Brashawn. And that one is just strictly because Tyrell, you're trying to take a black name, and we're not cool with that. So we set up that one, and then
Appropriation is wrong in today's times.
yeah, come on now. So
The woke culture told me so, Carver. It's not my fault.
and then from then on, it was just like, who do we want to just see fuck around with each other? And we really want to see Richie and Chewy just go hard at it.
I don't know what you're talking about. We hate each other. Richie's the worst.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
he's just a trash person. Okay. I like Chris more than I like Richie.
We picked this matchup, Carver versus Brian, draft night, because Carver was talking some shit, which we all agreed with. And then fucking the champ showed up. Block away from the house, could have got his championship glass, didn't do it. But he showed up to the draft, so that's good. If you watched the video from last night, Chewy drank from that glass. I didn't watch the newest video that you posted. Did you guys drink from the glass yet?
I didn't because Chris wanted to drink from it. So if I brought it out, I was worried he would try to drink from it, and I wasn't going to allow that.
He cannot. He's not a
No, that's
champion. Of
why.
course.
That's why I did not let that happen.
Okay. So yeah, we set up that match, and I'm just that this is fun for me. I really like Carver. I'm pulling for you. I want you to destroy Spear. And personally, my heart will just be full of glee if Brian goes 0-2 to start this year. So, Carver, hey, maybe I'm issuing a bet right here. Hey, Carver,
Yeah.
Matt's versus 2 others because we don't want to challenge the world now because there's only 2 of us.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's addition by subtraction.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I don't think Nielsen brought anything to the table in that situation.
Mike Evans.
There was the crazy way to do Mats versus the world where it was like the average of your scores versus the average of whoever accepted the bet. If you still wanted a true Mats versus the world.
So okay, we'll get to this. We'll get to that. Let's finish with this. We got, and then we have Gary versus Andy. I don't know how many times I've talked to Gary, and he just told me how much he fucking hates Andy. So I'm really excited about this matchup. And then fuck Corey and the Seattle Seahawks. So I'm super excited to be Corey's rival this year. And to kick it off, Chewy, the bet overlord, I am issuing a card bet right now to Space Mountain himself, named after Ric Flair. Here it is. And I'll put this in the chat as well. But if I beat you,
Because Corey doesn't watch this.
I know he won't. He doesn't have time. If I beat Corey, you need to verse the Macho Man Eddie and let him Macho Man Savage chop your chest 5 times, like Ric Flair would. What?
Like, why?
What?
Just Ric Flair, Macho Man Savage. Like, how can it just can't be one wrestler? Just when Eddie gets turned, does he turn into 2 different wrestlers?
Well, no. Listen up. Like, do you see who Corey's? He's Space Mountain. He's Ric Flair in the picture.
Yeah, but you said Macho Man.
Because it's Macho. That's the card bet. Macho Man Randy Savage slaps across the chest. That's the card bet, Carver.
So where's Rick? Oh, because okay.
Oh my gosh.
Corey's picture is Ric Flair. I get you.
Oh gosh. Like I had a good flow going.
Yeah, I'm a flow ruiner. Have we met?
So Corey, I issue the Macho
Man
Man Randy Savage chop bet to you. Yeah. You gotta just bare chest, and so this is how this works. We get Eddie fucking shit faced. He becomes Macho Man Randy Savage, and you get chopped in the chest.
Sounds like a party.
So that's issued. And that's what you guys need to do this week is issue as many bets as you can to your rival. The fun thing about this week as well is you get to change your rival's name and their picture. How long does it last for? 2 weeks. Yeah. So you get to change the name and their picture for 2 weeks, and it could be anything. I used to be Chewy's rival, and I would always make some type of Chewbacca sperm all over the face type thing for Chewy. And yeah, it was fun.
I remember
Richie changed mine last year, and it has been the same since then. So
it's
I'm going
great
on
though.
Whole year. Yeah. I mean, Richie did it, so it's precious to me.
Yeah. So that being said, I've issued one of my bets to my rival this week. Carver, do you have anything you want to issue to the champion?
Not yet. I gotta dig more into
all right. Chucifer, anything you want to offer up?
I mean, if I count tonight as time served, I'm half tempted to issue the what did I name it? I think I named it the like the Chris friendship card or something.
Did you put that on there?
Chris time, hang out with Special K for 6 hours alone. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna issue that card bet to Richie. Richie, straight up, whoever wins this week, card bet Chris time. Loser,
Panda Chris.
spend 6 hours with Chris.
Panda Chris.
Oh.
Pan.
I thought it was here, and I thought I was going to Lake Tahoe.
Matt, you said pan to Chris. I thought you said panda Chris.
Panda Chris.
Panda Chris.
Panda Chris. It's really cute when he does that. Yeah. 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 He'll cuddle with you when he's Panda Chris. It's great.
Yeah. I mean, nobody can guarantee that, you can get a panda suit for Chris and just hang out with him for 6 hours that way. But
Ooh, he is a furry. I don't know if you knew this about him. He is a furry. He likes to be a panda.
I mean, why not?
This bet is alcohol included, by the way.
I would assume it would have to be.
I guess it's gonna happen at the other person's house then. Gotta have
We
enough.
have like a minute and a half left. Chris, get Chris center stage. Chris, you have a minute and 10 seconds to live your glory, live your dream of being on Champions Corner.
Yeah, we haven't even
as a featured. You're featured right now. You're featured
You're
for the
going
next
like Lake Tahoe for sure, dude. Like, he's somewhere.
Go. You got a minute. Just
I have a minute.
Just
All
stop.
right.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna let the suspense carry on. I have 5 card bets that I'm issuing Eddie this week. Get ready, motherfucker.
All Eddie.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Get back in
okay.
the camera.
That stream of consciousness did not last very long. I thought you were just gonna like wax poetic.
I didn't
and,
mean to curse.
Keep going. Yeah, fuck. Watch your language.
Yeah.
So five card bets being issued to Eddie. Eddie does not have to accept those card bets.
But he should.
Yes, he does during rivalry week.
Was that English?
Also, I'm not trying to stick up for Eddie or anything, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna have a baby this week. So I don't know how much involvement Eddie is going to be this week. But